Welcome to part 2 of the 4-part welcome session. Welcome to Little Sprouts. Once again, I'm Megan. Hi, I'm the Director of Career Success and Training, and I'm here to try to help you learn about Little Sprouts, about your job, and help you feel successful in your new role. This is part 2 of the 4-part welcome session. Welcome to Little Sprouts. In part 1, I just said welcome, and I'm really excited that you're here. In part 2, we're going to look at Little Sprouts and our history or values, just information about where you are working. In part 3, we're going to look at your job, policies, rules, things like that. And in part 4, we're going to look at the classroom, teaching children, the fun stuff. The agenda for part 2 has 3 different sections. Number 1, we're going to look at the history of Little Sprouts, where we've been. In number 2, I'm going to show you our values, who we are. And finally, in number 3, I want to be really clear and let you know who you go to when you need help. Not if, but when you need help. There's a lot of us here that are all here ready to help you out. So utilize us. Part 1, the Little Sprouts history. Little Sprouts was founded in 1982 by Susan Ledger Ferraro. She was 17 when she founded Little Sprouts in this house. So this is the house that Little Sprouts started in. It's in Methuen, Massachusetts. From 1982 to 1994, Little Sprouts was a family child care. In 1994, Susan opened a center in Methuen, and it became a group child care, so it became a center-based early ed school. And then she started opening additional schools. When she retired in 2012, we had 17 locations. Today we have 26 locations in both Massachusetts and New Hampshire. The 3 schools here in purple are our 3 schools in New Hampshire, and the rest are in Massachusetts. You notice that the remaining 23 schools in Massachusetts are all clustered around eastern Massachusetts. So we've got quite a few in the Boston area, and then north of Boston and south of Boston. These are the schools we have as of today. Our school here in Natick is our most recent school that we've opened. Little Sprouts is on a growth plan and an expansion plan, so it's not out of the realm of possibility that this number is actually different when you're watching this. Number 2, values. The Little Sprouts values are a list of 7 adjectives that describe who we are. It's not what we do, this is who we are. These values were developed over the course of Little Sprouts history and put into words by teachers and with teachers. So this wasn't something just developed in a vacuum. This really does describe who Little Sprouts is and what makes us unique. Your job is to represent these values in your role at Little Sprouts. So let's look at how you do that. Take a minute to actually look within your onboarding guide at page 3 or thereabouts, and you will see a document that looks like this. These are our friends' values. They're called our friends' values because you'll notice they spell the word friends if you put them all in order. Let's look at each one individually. Turn your page in your onboarding guide to page 4. Instead of just reading the values, let's read this page. What is expected from you? How do these values play in to the expectations that we have for you as a new Little Sprouts employee? And how do they benefit you to make this a great place to work? First, family first. We emphasize above all else the importance of family. We nurture our family of educators that in turn nurture the families we serve. We are a loving people, a family, not just a team. So how can you show this value? First, get to know families by their first name. Don't just call somebody Johnny's mom or Sally's dad. Actually learn families' names. This is a sign of respect and of appreciation that they are connected and they're important to their child's classroom. Number 2, each day share with families a special story about their child's day. Kids don't just have good days. That doesn't mean anything. How can an entire day just be good? Tell families every day something that their child did. Number 3, greet everyone warmly. When you're within the school, somebody walking by, maybe a family member, and you being warm and welcoming really gives the tone of the school that this is a warm and welcoming place for them and for their child. Create great relationships with families while also setting boundaries and remaining professional. There are 3 key ways to make families happy. Smile, connect with them, but also set boundaries. If you have a concern about a child or some sort of event, go to your ED or EC first. Don't just go right to a parent. Sometimes parents ask for what we call dirty details. They like to gossip. Don't gossip with parents. That doesn't set a professional tone for anybody. And third, ask for clarification from school administrators to obtain talking points. If a family says, so has anybody in this school had COVID? Just make sure that you're talking with your director, for example, because there are things that are confidential that aren't actually allowed to be shared. And we don't want you getting in trouble with sharing information you're not supposed to. So at any time parents ask information, your response can always be, I'm not quite sure, but I think my director knows. Why don't you go talk to her or him? So just set those boundaries. Be friendly with families, but not their friend. Happy parents equals a happy school. Happy parents pay their tuition, which means we have jobs. Happy parents are nicer. They're grateful. They want to make it a fun place to work. Happy parents stay longer. It is so much easier to teach a child who's there all year than constantly having new children in your classroom. And it's better for them. Happy parents refer their friends, which means, again, more children. And happy parents help us build a positive reputation in the community. Also, really quick, over and over here, we've used the word parents. We do use the word parents and families sometimes interchangeably. As much as possible, though, we would actually say families, not parents, because not all children live with their parents, whereas they all do have a family. So just an important distinction. Now, because of COVID, there are some changes and some alterations for what we would normally do with helping make parents families. For example, you notice right here, it says smile. Well, there is truth to the fact that you can smile with your eyes, but when you're wearing a mask, smiling isn't really the thing we're looking for. It's really just that welcoming, positive attitude. You can feel that whether you're wearing a mask or not. Connect with families. Send them pictures through CanBooth. Send them their daily notes. This is more important than ever. Families aren't even entering the buildings right now, so sending them information through CanBooth is their one channel to see what's going on with their child. And again, setting boundaries, really important when we're talking about medical information. A lot of medical information is strictly confidential, so make sure you're not sharing information that you're not allowed to. Second value is real passion. We only surround ourselves with professionals who have a deep-rooted passion for educating young children. We're not just looking for people who want to do this because maybe it might be fun. We are passionate about children. We know we're making a difference. And I hope you do too. How can you show this value? Love what you do. Have fun. Inspire others. Passion is contagious. Safety is the number one thing that we need to make sure we're sharing with children, but number 2 is just having fun. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff you have to do, but have fun while you're doing it. You get paid to play, really take advantage of that. Make children feel loved. They can't learn anything, and they're not going to do anything you say unless they know that you care about them. Make every day special for every child. Childhood is short, and you're changing lives every day. I hope that feels like you have some weight on your shoulders, because you do, but it's an awesome responsibility. And nitty gritty, be punctual. There's a lot of people relying on you. When you're not there, when we think you're going to be there, it doesn't show passion, and it makes everybody else's day go out of whack. Now, there are some changes here too. Usually we would say, make children feel loved, give hugs freely. Maybe not freely. We still hug. We're wearing masks and we're washing our hands like crazy, but we are still hugging the children within your grouping anyway. But there are some times when maybe we don't want the kids to share all of their boogers with us while they're hugging. Also, we keep using this phrase, social distancing. It's not social distancing. We are physically distancing. Please, please, please do not be socially distant from children or your coworkers. Physically distant, yes, but you can still make amazing relationships from 6 feet away. Our I in our Friends' values is innovating always. We consider ourselves thought leaders in early education, but we remain open-minded about new research-based findings to deploy in our classrooms. We really do look at trying new, interesting things. We are not an organization where, well, we've always done it that way, so we always will. If there's a better way to do things, oh my gosh, let's do it. That will help everybody. How can you show this value? 1, embrace new challenges. We are living in a world of new challenges right now. Embrace it and go with the flow. The answer is never, I don't know. Rather say, I'll find out. So if a family asks you a question and you don't know the answer, which you probably won't, don't just blow them off with, I don't know. Go and find out. And you know what? Maybe while you're finding out, you'll learn something too. Our system Camboo is really innovative. Parents love this. It is a great way to connect with families, and the stuff you can do within Camboo is amazing. Send pictures through Camboo, at least 1 picture per child per day, at least. And send a daily note for every child. Infants and toddlers, you log everything in the daily note in Camboo. You log every time they eat, every diaper, every sleep, everything. Preschoolers, you log a lot too. But you're focusing more on what they've learned, less on their bathroom habits. Now, because of the pandemic, this goes without saying, embrace new challenges. Things change fast right now because we have no idea really what's happening or what's going to happen with COVID-19. Rules and regulations are changing, as I said, sometimes overnight. So you may learn an entire way to do something today, and tomorrow it may change. And we are all going through that. So no reason to get stressed out about it. Just know that what we're living is not a forever thing, but a for now thing. And once again, send those pictures through Camboo. At least 1 picture per child per day, at least. Parents need to see that their kids are still having fun. Okay, turns out this section is really long, so I have split this video into 2 parts. So end here, and the next video will be the rest of our Friends' values in part 2. Welcome to Little Sprouts.